So I thought it'd be really nice to make everyone down at the news station a little appetizer as well. So I'm making a mustard green and artichoke dip, a baked dip. So I have a 14-ounce can of artichokes that I've drained. Just gonna roughly chop that with some garlic. What I'm gonna do is just cook this artichoke up with some fresh mustard greens, some onions, some cream, some cheese. You've typically seen artichoke and spinach dip, but I'm sure you haven't seen artichoke and mustard green dip. Mustard greens, I love using them in dips and things like this because it's gonna give you that green, herby flavor without being overly tart. And we're in the South. Who doesn't love a collard green or a mustard green? I thought it'd be really nice to serve this with some pita chips. Put a little seasoning on this and bake them off. Now, I'm gonna cut each pita into about 8 pieces. So I've been thinking about this day for quite some time now, and you know what? I thought I'd be nervous, but I'm not. I'm actually more excited than anything else. It's one of those things, you know, I was just meant for it. So I'm gonna just drizzle some olive oil on top and add my house seasoning. Garlic powder, salt, pepper, little onion powder, and paprika. I'm gonna bake these off at 400 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. While that bakes, I wanna get started on the dip. I'm gonna add a few tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna saute my onions with the artichoke and garlic. I love dips. Who doesn't love chip and dip? It's like the best appetizer known to man. So my butter is nice and melted. I'm gonna add some onions, a little salt to help sweat out those onions, and my garlic and artichoke. It's starting to smell good already. It's something about butter and onion and garlic, whew. All right, this is a good time to add my mustard greens. I know it looks like a lot of mustard greens, but as you know, once you cook it, it will shrink in size. So you just wanna cook that water out. Oh, it smells so good in this kitchen. The onions, the garlic, those greens cooking up with that butter. And we're not really cooking this until the greens are completely cooked. Remember, this is going in the oven too. So I'm just cooking it until my onions have turned translucent. I'm gonna add a little cayenne pepper, a little freshly cracked black pepper, just a little lemon zest to brighten it up a bit. Here's the part where we get creamy and cheesy. 1 cup of half and half, some grated Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna reserve a little bit to put on top, and about a half a cup of Monterey Jack. I'm gonna also reserve just a little bit more to put on top. And last but not least, cream cheese. I'm just gonna mix this together until everything becomes nice and gooey and cheesy. Once it gets to the news station, they can always reheat it, or you can actually eat this at room temp. It's delicious either way. I'm gonna add some sour cream for a little tang and more creaminess. This is a really creamy dip. One more mix. Oh yeah, you see how this is coming together? All right, let me give this a little taste. And now I'm just gonna pour this into my baking dish, get everything out. Okay, smooth it across. Now I'm gonna top it off with that remaining cheese, parm. It's gonna be nice and creamy and melty and cheesy, and that little bit of Monterey Jack that's left. All right, so before I put this in there, let me take my pita chips out. Ooh, look how beautiful these pita chips got. I like using pita chips with this dip because it just really stands up to the dip. It doesn't get soggy. Pita chip is the perfect option. Her crunch. Yeah. And you know what? These kind of keep very well, so you can use them during the week for like a snack. I'm gonna keep my oven at 400 degrees, bake for 8 to 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna crank it up to broil and get it nice and bubbly on top. My dip is done. Ooh wee! Nice and golden brown and super melty. Take one of those crunchy baked pita chip. All right. It's so rich, but absolutely delicious. The lemon zest in there just kind of complements it so well. I taste the garlic, I taste the artichoke. This is overall just like a well-balanced dip. One last thing to make for the news crew, I'm gonna make them some potato wedges to go with that sandwich.